All right, so welcome to Analyzing Blockchain. My name is Amy Garish, and today I kind of want to talk about what happened over this past weekend. Bitcoin lost $10 billion in market cap, and we're going to analyze why here and let you know what happened. So let's dig right into it. So I started checking out the headlines and started, trying to figure out, okay, what's happening? Why is price of Bitcoin going down? It's been on this really strong, bull run for the past several months. We've been having, lots of cash come into the market, and everything was great, and then all of a sudden we had a pretty sharp decline. So I started reading the headlines, trying to figure out what is the news, what's happening around this. So what we're kind of seeing here is, you can see I put this quote from Yahoo News. So they kind of reported from CoinMarketCap that there was a blackout in, a region in China that was, a huge processor of Bitcoin, right? They probably have mining pools over there, and they probably mine Bitcoin. And so I decided to pull some data just to try and figure out, like, what is the impact of a mining pool, going down in China on Bitcoin, and why did we see this big drop? So the question to ask is, was there a decrease in Bitcoin transactions processed due to the blackout, right? Because that is what the news is reporting. So is the news reporting this to be true? Can we figure this out? So I pulled the data, and I got the raw data, and I got some charts here. So what I saw was, yeah, absolutely, we have this big increase, right? Because Bitcoin had just hit another all-time high of, I believe, 64,000 or something like that, and is definitely in the low to mid 60,000. And so there was a lot of transactions, a lot of volume coming into Bitcoin. And then all of a sudden we see this huge drop in transactions processed per day. And so I believe this was Friday, this started to happen, and they kind of bottomed out right on Saturday. So let's see. So here it says right here, a drop in Bitcoin transactions was noticed on April 16th. Total processed transactions were down 39% from the previous day. And that really is what that says, is like, that is a lot of processing happening in this autonomous region in China. And it puts our local mining pool here in Tempe, Arizona to shame. So basically, that region in China, based on the day before, was processing 40% of Bitcoin's transactions. That is amazing, because if you understand how much processing power it takes to mine even just one Bitcoin, never mind 40% of the transactions, I mean, that is a big deal. And so China really has a lot to do with how Bitcoin is being processed. And so let's kind of scroll down and talk about oh, I do want to show you too. So this right here, so it bottomed out right at negative 39%. And then this is by Sunday, it had already come back up 25%. So it's Wednesday now, so I haven't pulled the recent data, but I would imagine this is normalized by now. The price of Bitcoin has been stable, but the effects of that backlog in transactions. So what happened was, it looked like demand had fallen for Bitcoin because the transactions weren't getting processed, and it looked like demand has fallen. But it was a false kind of indicator, right? The demand was still there. It was just all pent up in all of the blockchain trying to process it, like, without that mining pool. And so what we saw was this kind of fake lack of demand. The demand was still there. And so that kind of showed in the pricing of Bitcoin that when a large mining pool goes out like that and transactions aren't getting processed, it looks like demand had fallen, which in reality, it was just, like I said, pent up demand. It's all backlogged in there. So it was kind of a fake, you know, it was unfortunate really, but it did show in the pricing, right? So it looked like there was this lack of demand for Bitcoin because, you know, the pricing for anything, for these coins or stocks or anything, is all in supply and demand. So if it looks like demand has fallen, so does the price. And there is some fear in the market over that, as well as fear in the market coming from other headlines. So when we're looking at, you know, what else came out in the news on Friday was, you know, Turkey, the country of Turkey, actually banning Bitcoin because of, you know, dark money uses, you know. And then the United States actually put out some headlines as well that they're investigating or charging institutions with fraud with their use of Bitcoin. So there is fear in the market, which caused trading, and it caused like major sell-offs too, right? So the average trading volume was up 66% week over week, signaling sell-offs, which correlate with the 10 billion loss in market cap. So, you know, there's a lot of volume being traded. Most people were selling off because of the fear. They didn't know what was happening. They probably didn't realize what was happening with the processing power. They thought there was a true lack of demand when there really wasn't. So bottom line was investors got scared. Stop losses probably kicked in as well when we saw that big spike. And at some point around 55,000, we saw it kind of spike below 55,000. I would imagine that's where the stop losses were. And then it kind of re-stabilized, right? We have this really strong support level for Bitcoin at about $55,000 a coin right now. Today is April 21st. So this happened over the weekend, 16th, 17th, and 18th. So it's been a couple of days since this has happened, and it's been pretty stable. You know, the prices have been between 54 and 56,000, kind of stabilized at that level. So that's what we're seeing with the price of Bitcoin, and why we saw that drop from that all-time high to this. This is what happened on Saturday. So you can see that it was pretty ugly, and there was a lot of fear in the market. So I would say, you know, as an analyst, keep an eye out for other headlines and fear coming into the market. Be very careful with your Bitcoin right now. If you are a hodler like me, you know, I've been buying Bitcoin, you know, here and there. I didn't freak out. I didn't sell. I kept mine, and I'm going to keep it because I believe that Bitcoin has more in it. You know, I believe it's going to hit some more all-time highs by the end of the year. So I'm going to keep hodling strong. It's just a bump in the road. But it was definitely an interesting look at the processing power needed to, you know, power this blockchain. It's a powerful blockchain. And the fact that that autonomous region in China powers almost 40% of the blockchain, and the power of mining pools is so important to, you know, to the setup. So that's all I got for you today about what happened over the weekend and why Bitcoin lost $10 billion. But I believe, again, it's a small $10 billion bump in the road. But I'm hodling strong, and if you have questions or other analysis or predictions, I'd love to bounce ideas off of you too. So leave comments, and we'll let you know when the next video is. So if you like this one, go ahead and hit that subscribe button here on YouTube. Thank you.